So first we're going to focus on the US measurement system, so looking at length, weight and mass, and volume as well. So starting with the US system, we're going to need a calculator to help with these conversions. Some of the conversions are tricky, like the fact that 5,280 feet is equivalent to 1 mile. You think about plugging that, trying to do that math on its own will be very difficult. So part of this will be, I'll show you how to set up the calculation so it does it correctly, but then also showing you how to plug into the calculator correctly as well. Okay, so when we're working with the US measurement system and looking at length, we're going to be working in inches, feet, yards, and miles. So here we have some of our conversions, which you can also find on those conversion sheets that I listed in our module. So this first question here, we want to know how many inches are in 3.2 feet. So something I like to do is highlight what we have. So we know we have 3.2 feet. And with that, I'm going to set up my little starting fraction where we have 3.2 feet. And then I'm just going to put that over 1 so I can easily line up my fractions. Then what I'm going to do is multiply using those unit fractions to convert it. Something I like to do is then figure out kind of a path that I need to follow. So we're starting in feet and I want to end up in inches. So what I would do is kind of look at my sheet, and if there is a fraction or if there's a conversion that relates the two directly, that's going to be nice and easy. You're just going to need one fraction. We'll look in the next example where we'll use two fractions. But since we know 12 inches is exactly equal to 1 foot, I'm just going to have a single conversion here where we're starting with feet, and then we'll need to do a conversion into inches. So I'm going to multiply to get this conversion. And then what I do is I think about the units I want to cancel out. We're starting with feet, but I want to get rid of feet. And to get rid of them, that means it needs to be in the denominator for it to cancel out. So I want feet in the denominator, which means if I'm converting to inches, I'll need inches in the numerator. And then I just fill in my numbers from the equivalence that's up above there. So we know that 12 inches is exactly equal to 1 foot. So now how we have this set up is the units are going to work out because feet are going to cancel. So all we'll have left over are the inches. And then in terms of numerically, I have this fraction where in the numerator it's 3.2 times 12 over 1 times 1. Which means it's really just 3.2 times 12, but in the calculator I'm going to show you how to just plug it all in so that you're always ready to go. So I hit the fraction button, so this A over B button, then we'll have 3.2 times 12, and in the denominator 1 times 1, which is all just 1, and there's our 38.4. So I'm just going to grab that number, and that'll be 38.4 numerically, and then for units we just have inches. And then that's done. All right, this next one, we have 2 yards, and we want to convert that to inches. So my starting fraction, I'm starting with 2 yards over 1, and then what I need to do is create some unit fractions to convert. Now, from our conversion sheet, there isn't directly a relationship between yards and inches. If you know what it is, you can absolutely use it. But just to show you where we have these cases where we might have multiple steps to convert, we're starting with yards. In terms of what I have available on this sheet, I can change yards to feet. And then if I have feet, then I can change to inches. So that's going to be the path that I follow here. So I'm starting with yards, and then I'm going to convert it to feet. So to convert it to feet, the unit that I want is going to go in the numerator, and the unit I want to get rid of goes in the denominator. So then I just fill in the numbers based on what we have, and we're told that 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. So I would need 3 feet, 1 yard. And if I do that, then yards will cancel out and we'll have feet left over. But I want to convert to inches, so now I need to go one further and convert to inches. So I'm going to multiply with another fraction so that we're getting inches out and getting rid of feet. And we know that 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. Now if I do this, I have feet in the numerator, feet in the denominator, so those also cancel out, and then we have just inches left over. So sometimes you'll have multiple steps, so just take it step by step and think about these unit fractions and making sure that they are in fact equal to 1. Now numerically, okay, in the denominator I have 1 times 1 times 1, so that's all just 1 down there. So really it's in my numerator, so I have 2 times 3 times 12, and we can use a calculator to help us out there. 2 times 3 times 12 for 72. So this will be 72 inches, and we're done. All right, 8,285 feet. And we want to convert this into miles. So we are starting with 8,285 feet. And I'm just going to put that over 1 to help me organize. And we have a direct conversion, so we have feet, and we can just get that turned into miles. So with this, we want miles. We want to get rid of feet, so we need to put that in the denominator so it cancels out. And then we have that 1 mile is equivalent to 5,280 feet. So with our setup there, feet will cancel numerator to denominator. We'll have miles left over as we should. And the calculation I need is this 8,285 divided by 5,280. And I will need a calculator to help out there. Let's see, 8285 divided by 5280 for 1 point, let's say 1.57. I'm going to round to 2 decimal places there. So 1.57 miles. All right, so we're going to keep going through these. I'm just going to show you lots of examples here. Yes, out there, you, especially with Google available, sure, you can say 8,000, like convert 8,285 feet into miles, and it will tell you. Google's amazing. But part of this is showing your work. That's what you'll have to do for the exam. That's what you'll have to do for your written assignment. So with that, I want to see the setup of this work and your calculation to the end, but you have the internet available to you. Use it to check your work. Make sure that it is right. Plug into Google, convert that, and it should say 1.57 miles. So while you have other resources that are faster, part of this is showing that you would know how these conversions are working if you had to do them by hand. All right, weight and mass. So weight and mass with the US system is going to work in tons, pounds, and ounces. So we have these 2 equivalents that we can work with here. So this first one is we have 1.8 pounds and we want to convert that to ounces. So my starting point is I have 1.8 pounds, which if you haven't seen before, pounds can also be LBS. Ounces, you'll see OZ for short. So I have 1.8 pounds, put that over 1. And we have a relationship between pounds and ounces. So what I can do is just take this unit in pounds and convert it to ounces. So to do that, create my unit fraction. I want ounces, I want to get rid of pounds. And the relationship goes 16 ounces to 1 pound. So with this setup, pounds will cancel out numerator to denominator. And the math that I need to do is 1.8 times 16. which is 28.8. And the units I have left over are ounces. And that's done. Let's say we have 3,000 ounces and we want to convert that to tons. So my starting fraction, I have 3,000 ounces over 1. And with this, we don't have a relationship directly with ounces and tons, so we're going to need to use pounds as kind of a middle step. So we're going to start at ounces, we're going to go to pounds, and then convert to tons. So starting with ounces, and my first step, I'm going to convert to pounds. So to do that, we want pounds, and I want to get rid of ounces. And then the relationship goes 16 ounces to 1 pound. So notice that while these are the same kind of unit fraction, they're both equal to 0, we use a different order because up here we wanted to cancel out pounds, so we needed that 1 pound in the denominator. And here we need to cancel out ounces, so pounds would be in the numerator instead. All right, so with that setup, ounces would cancel out and we'd have pounds. But then we want to convert to tons. So to do that, where I have pounds right now, I want to get rid of pounds and end up with tons. And the relationship goes 2,000 pounds to 1 ton. And then with that, pounds will cancel out. So we'll be left with just tons, as we wanted. And then numerically, let's see, in the numerator we have 3,000 times 1 times 1, and then the denominator 1 times 16 times 2,000. So we can go ahead and plug all of that in. Let's see, 3,000 times 1 if you want to have those in there, or you could skip the ones. 1 times 16 times 2,000. And let's go ahead and round to 2 decimal places for a 0.09. So this will be 0.09 tons. And it's done. All right, 2 last pieces here. I know it's kind of a longer video, but just getting lots of examples here, and you can skip ahead as needed as well. Volume capacity. So at the US measurement system, we have teaspoons, tablespoons, fluid ounces, cups, pints, quarts, gallons, and then we even have cubic feet. You might hear that described as. So as you can see, lots of pieces here to work with. So with that, it's just a matter of finding the right path for us to follow. So how many fluid ounces are in 8 cups? So we have 8 cups here. In fact, I can set up my starting fraction. 8 cups over 1. And I want to convert to fluid ounces. So what I would do is I would go looking for cups and where it shows up here. So you can see there's a few different possibilities. This one at the top, though, relates cups to fluid ounces, so that's the one that I want to use. So I want to use the fact that 8 fluid ounces is equal to 1 cup. So we're going to be able to start with cups and just convert directly to fluid ounces. So with that, we want to cancel out cups and we want to keep fluid ounces. And we know 8 fluid ounces is equal to 1 cup. So with that, cups cancel out. We're just left with fluid ounces. In terms of math, we're just doing an 8 times 8, which is 64. So 64 fluid ounces, and we're done. This next one, 2 gallons, is equal to how many pints? So if I look for gallons, there's this gallons relating to cubic feet. That's not going to do us any good. But we have this gallons and quarts working together. And then we can see quarts and pints. So with that, I start to get this idea of, okay, I'm starting with gallons. We can change that to quarts. And then we can change that to pints. So I start to see a path I can follow there. So we're starting with 2 gallons. And the first thing I'm going to do is convert from gallons into quarts. So we want to cancel out gallons and we want to keep quarts. And we're told that 4 quarts is equal to 1 gallon. And with that, gallons will cancel out and we'll just have quarts left over. And then I have another step where I want to convert quarts to pints. So with that, I want to cancel out quarts and I want to keep pints. And we're told that 2 pints is equal to 1 quart. So then with that, quarts cancel out and we'll just have pints left over. So we have pints, and then we're taking 2 times 4 times 2, so an 8 times 2 is 16, and then divided by a bunch of 1s multiplying together. So really that's just a 16, and then pints. All right, 35 cups is what we're starting with, and we're converting into gallons. So this is going to be kind of a long one, but better to do the messy ones together. So we're starting with cups, which we can change into pints, which we can change into quarts, which we can change into gallons. So with this one, we're going cups to pints to quarts to gallons. All right, 35 cups. And we're going to take cups and change into pints. So we want to cancel out cups and we want to keep pints. And we are told that 2 cups is equal to 1 pint. And with that, cups cancel out and we have pints left. Then we want to change to quarts. So we want to get rid of pints. So I'm going to put that in the denominator. And want to keep quarts. So 2 pints is equal to 1 quart, 2 pints, 1 quart. And with that, pints cancel out and we're left with quarts. And then finally change to gallons. So I want quarts to cancel out. I want to keep gallons. And as we saw up above there, 4 quarts is equal to 1 gallon. And with that, quarts will cancel out, so all we'll have left over is gallons. So all that work, we'll get gallons out. I'm going to use the calculator to help me out here. In the numerator, we have 35 times 1 times 1 times 1, so really just 35 in the numerator, and then the denominator, a 2 times 2 times 4. So with that, we're going to have 35 over 2 times 2 times 4, and that'll be 2.1875. Did I do that right? Yes. All right. I'm going to round to 2 decimal places there. Actually, that's not too bad. I'm going to write the whole thing for 2.1875 gallons. And that's it.